and let your life be built on Him. Let's be rooted in Him. Let's be rooted in Him, yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Rooted in Jesus. Today we're going to be talking about creativity for God's glory, and I have Jasmine here, and we're going to just be talking about her coloring book and all the creative things that she's doing for God's glory. I guess we'll let you introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about you.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jasmine. I am currently 21 years old. I've been a Christian for almost 5 years, and I run a small ministry page on my Instagram where I just pretty much promote creativity to glorify God, and I just have small encouraging words here and there. But yeah, that's really all that I'm doing right now. I work with kids. I'm at a part-time job that also kind of transitions to a full-time job, so I'm with either on my iPad a lot, spending time in the Word, drawing, or spending time with kids most of the time.
I'm going to pull up my questions and we're going to go through these. When did you start drawing and when did you start unfinished ministry?
I have always drawn. As a little girl, I took creativity and art to the max. Like, I've always loved art projects and just kind of doing that. I guess I got a lot of that from my dad. He was very artistic and creative, and so he kind of passed that on to me, teaching me cool little tricks here and there. So I would say at a young age, very young age, kindergarten, and it just progressively got better. Just like small sketchbooks that I would keep and draw cute things I saw on Pinterest and stuff like that. So I never really took it serious, but it was a hobby of mine. I would say that my digital art started in 2022, which is also the year that I started Unfinished Ministry. That page, that Instagram page, used to be my spam account from high school. So I used to post a lot of my sin on there and just me partying and having a good time in high school. And then once I got saved, little by little, that page was overtaken by the Lord, and I used it to kind of share my faith and do some small teaching videos that I used to do. But in 2022, I made it like official to change the whole name, the whole theme, to Unfinished Ministry, where it's basically just a page for people who are specifically more like broken, hurt, judged, and like pushed away from the church, or just from people in general. It's just a place, my page is a place for people to just come and find the comfort of Jesus and see how they're loved by Him despite their mess, despite their stories. Because I had gone through a personal experience myself where I was just kind of in a season of sin, but also like a season of just being judged a lot, and like kind of having experiences with church hurt as well. So I had my own experiences with that, and I just had heart to want to sympathize with other people who also have experienced those things. So 2022 was the year where I started Unfinished Ministry, and when I started digital creating, I got my first iPad then.
But yeah, that's such a good story. And it's just so cool how God will use anybody. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
what you've done, it doesn't matter what you've been through. God will use anybody. Like you said, it was your spam account. And
yeah,
God told you to transform that into something for His glory. And that is so beautiful. And I found her account. One of my friends shared your account with me, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this is so good." All of your encouraging words and stuff that you were putting out was just such a good positive message. I've dealt with church hurt too,
yeah,
and it's easy to stay away from the church when you've been
yeah.
hurt by it. So that's so beautiful that you used that and try to encourage others. The next question that we have is about your Rest for the Weary coloring book. It is so pretty. I have to order myself one. I love all the colors and all of everything in it. But just tell the audience about how they can get that, about why you created it, and all of that.
So I have the book here. Um, I had such a fun time creating this. This just kind of happened out of nowhere. So with the digital art, I used this app called Procreate, and I had no idea how to use it, but I just knew it was like a good resource or a good app to use to do digital art. And so I found this other girl on Instagram who did like courses that taught you how to use the app. And she also sold like a lot of stuff on Etsy that like you can buy them and add them to the app, like brushes, backgrounds, and all that. And so I took her course, and there was a section there where she said how to create your own coloring book. And I saw this in like March of 2022, so I was like, oh, that is so cool. Like coloring is awesome, drawing and everything, like that sounds like such an awesome goal and accomplishment you can do. So I pushed it aside for a long time, for a whole year. And then afterwards I was like, you know what, like maybe I want to do a project. I want to do something I can just give out, have something of my own. And so I started to look at the course and actually pay attention to what she was saying. And she basically taught me everything, how to upload it on Amazon, how to get the sizing correct and everything. I started just drawing funny stuff. I don't know, just drawing stuff. And then I just kind of compiled it together and did it. I will say, obviously, my main motivation for this was to, again, encourage other people to their own relationship with the Lord. Like, that is just my desire, to help people grow closer to Jesus in any way that I can. And obviously, we can always encourage people, like pray, read the Bible, go to church, but to actually have something in their hands tangibly to seek the Lord and just spend time with him. I wanted to do that. And also just something that's like less stressful, something that is easy to just slide in, because the Bible can be very overwhelming for beginners and everything. So this can be an easy start off thing. Also, I just did some really cute like pages, really cute encouraging pages. I do have like word searches on here, and like crossword puzzles. And I purposely did them to be, I wouldn't say hard, but a bit challenging, because I wanted to encourage people to do their research and to kind of like seek themselves, to seek the Lord. And so, yes, I made this. It took me 7 months to draw, and then I uploaded it on Amazon, and that was a whole process as well. I wanted it to have it out by my birthday, September 8th, but it didn't work out. It worked out. I was able to sell it 2 weeks afterwards. But yeah, you can find this on Amazon. You can just literally search up Rest for the Weary coloring book, and it'll pop up. It's $11, I believe, $10.99. And yeah, you can get your hands on one. This was a really fun project that I really enjoyed doing, and I've been getting a lot of awesome positive feedback from it.
That is so, so awesome. It's just so cool when you draw. I have a coloring Bible and I love it. And it's just so relaxing to color these words and see them and color them, and it's just so relaxing. We have so
Yeah.
much stress in this world, and I love the name of it, Rest for the Weary, because sometimes you get stressed out and you just need a break. And coloring
Yeah.
is a beautiful way to do that.
Yeah.
So I just love that. So you guys can go get her book on Amazon. I gotta pick myself up a copy. I've been seeing it and I'm like, it's so, so cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This question is, what is a word of an encouragement that you would give to other Christian creatives out there? Maybe they're creative at art, maybe they're creative at music, and they're just maybe afraid to get started or don't know how. What's a piece of advice?
That's a great question. I would say, of course, like what I feel like the Lord purposely puts passions in our hearts. I don't think that's a mistake. I think those are very intentional. The way he gives his gifts and talents to people. So if you have a passion, as silly that it may sound to the world, like, oh, I want to create this or I want to do this, and there's going to be people who are going to come with negative feedback on that, but I believe that the passions you have in your life are for a reason, and they were meant for you to use them so that you can glorify God with them and serve others. So my advice would be to follow that passion, pray over it, be very wise with how you pour out on others with it, and just do it. Like, for so long I just wanted to do something, like create my own thing, or like to just start posting these things, but I always was like kind of nervous, or like, oh, I'm not that good, so it probably won't get much attention, because it's not comparable to other artists who have better work. But just do it. I think just kind of putting yourself out there and doing it and trusting that the Lord will use it. You don't even have to have a big audience or a large following to reach one heart. Like, the Lord can do it. Don't underestimate his power and how he can use you and your talent. So that would be my first advice: to pay attention to your passions and to your talents and just go for it. And the second one I would say is to be very careful with comparing yourself to other creatives. It's very easy to create something and then look at somebody else's work and think like, mine is not that good, or theirs got more attention, mine didn't. Again, it's really not about competition or whose looks better. It's about you and your relationship with God, you wanting to glorify Him and trusting Him to use that in any way He can, whether He is going to use that to, bring many to the Lord, or just use one heart to, one heart is going to come to the Lord. You just got to trust Him with that. So don't compare yourself. Artwork is beautiful because it's meant to look different. It's meant to come in different forms. So if yours looks different or less good or just very unique, don't be afraid of that. Like, there's people out there who would really enjoy your vibe and your theme. And it's good to be different. We have the same old of stuff everywhere. So it's good to stand out. So don't be afraid. Don't compare yourself, and just go for it. Have a good supportive system for you too, of good friends who you can go back to, to ask for advice, or like, do you think this is good? What should I add? Like, it's really good to also do this with other people. There's wisdom in counsel. There's wisdom in community. So doing it all on your own is going to be very hard and frustrating and lonely, and the enemy will attack you if you are alone in that. So make sure you to surround yourself with a few people in your corner to encourage you, to push you, to keep you accountable when you are setting your mind on a project or whatever. But yes, just do it. Pray through the whole process, and do not compare yourself with other creatives. You are your own person. Your own creativity is beautiful as it is, and yeah, it will reach a heart. It would reach a heart or many.
That is so, so good. And I think we're on our last questions. I always love asking this to anybody that I have on the podcast because I love to hear what their favorite verses are. So, what is your favorite verse at the moment and why?
Yeah, I was really excited about this question. My favorite verse at the moment, but it's also been my favorite verse for like 3 years now, and it's the whole reason my account was created, is Philippians 1:6. The Apostle Paul is talking to the church of Philippi, and he says, the Lord who continued a good work in you will bring it unto completion until the day of Christ Jesus. You can be confident of that. And I love that verse because oftentimes we can look at our stories and we can look at ourselves and think, this is it. Like, this is all that I have. This is all that it's going to be. Especially we see ourselves in that view when we are going through such a hard time. Well, let's use my life as an example. There was a season in my life, I would say like 2 years ago, where I had committed a sin and I kind of messed up, hurt a lot of people. And it was easy to look at my life and say, like, this is nothing else is going to come out of this. This is going to be my life. I'm going to be lonely. I'm going to regret this. That verse just really encouraged me in that time, because I'm reminded of that with the Holy Spirit living inside of me. His role is to work on me every single day. And the day that He will finally complete me is the day where Jesus returns. And so at every single moment, I'm going to be unfinished. Doesn't matter if I'm going through such a sinful season. Doesn't matter if I'm going through a messy season, a lonely season, a dry season. I am going to be unfinished. And the Lord is going to work on me. There is still so much more to happen. God is not done with me yet. And that is the whole reason why I call it Unfinished Ministry, because the whole message I want to spread is that you are unfinished. No matter if you're in a good season, a bad season, the Lord is not done with you. He is going to continue to work in you. And there is so much more planned for your life than you think, because the Lord is awesome and He has an amazing purpose and plan for your life. So yes, I would say Philippians 1:6 is my favorite go-to encouraging verse.
That is so, so good. And two, with this Christian walk, I think some people, when they are a new Christian, they think, oh, you're going to become a Christian and you're going to be perfect and you're going to have it all together and you're going to get to a place in your walk with God where you've arrived. But that's not how it works. God is continually making us more like Christ. It's a sanctification process, and it's not going to be complete until we get to heaven. So that's a beautiful thing. It's a good reminder to everybody out there. We're not going to be perfect, and this faith walk is a journey, and
Yeah.
we just got to stay close with Jesus and continue to
Yeah.
walk with Him.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's, I guess, all. You can shout out your social medias and again remind them all the info about the book.
All right, thank you so much. So my Instagram is going to be Jasmine M. _001. You can buy my book on Amazon, Rest for the Weary coloring book. On my Instagram, if you go to my bio, there's my link tree on there, so that'll have the links to the rest of my socials. I have TikTok, Pinterest, Snapchat, Facebook. So yeah, it'll have everything on there. But thank you so much for having me. I had a wonderful time, and this was really encouraging and very exciting because this was my first ever, podcast to ever be on. So this is awesome, and I admire your ministry and your heart for the Lord, and you encouraged me very much today. So thank you.
Thank you, and keep up all you're doing with your ministry. I go look at her photos on there and her digital art, and I'm like, they're so pretty. And also have a good message. It's not just they're
Thank
pretty, but they're pretty with a good message. So I love it.
you so much. Thank you.
So well, I'll see you in another podcast episode. Just let me know any other guests you want me to have on the show. And make sure to follow Jasmine and get her book. Bye, guys. Stay rooted in Him.
Bye.